Hi everyone, my name is Frankie, and welcome to a Movie a Day Challenge. Today is day number 296, and it's October 23rd, 2018. Today I'll be watching the 2002 horror film 28 Days Later. Now, in each episode of a Movie a Day Challenge, I pick one film that I've never seen before, and then I take that movie's movie poster and place it to the side of me. I do this because I absolutely have no idea of what the film that I'm about to watch is about. And being that I have absolutely no clue about the film or what it's about, I feel like I need to draw some type of conclusion of what I think the film may be about, based solely on the movie poster itself. In saying this, let's go ahead and take a look at the 2002 horror film movie poster to 28 Days Later. Now, this is a sort of weird and sort of creepy movie poster. A little freaky, if I may say. You have, at the base of it, what looks like a man walking in a silhouette type style. But the main thing that catches my eye is this image of what looks like a face and eyes. And I'm liking the colors between, white, black, and red, but these eyes are just like peering at you. And it's sort of like, you take a really close look at it, it's sort of got like a biohazard or some kind of like image in the center of it, of the eye pupil. So something major is about to happen to whomever is in this film. And it looks like it's going to be really interesting to watch. I don't know how crazy this film may be, but I'm very interested based solely on the movie poster itself. This marking plan for the poster did its job. I'm intrigued and I want to watch this film. Can't wait to sit down and enjoy the 2002 horror film 28 Days Later. Now, after I finish analyzing the movie poster itself, I then let you, the viewer, know that I'm going to go ahead and watch 28 Days Later. But before I go and do that, I want to let you, the viewer, know that after I finish watching 28 Days Later, I then come back and tell you a little bit about the film. However, I don't go in great detail about the film. You see, I don't tell you any major spoilers about the movie, nor do I tell you anything about the movie's plot either. Why? Well, because I don't want to ruin your chance of watching a really great film for the first time. And since this is also my first time watching 28 Days Later, I wouldn't want anyone to spoil the film for me by telling me any major spoilers about the film or telling me anything about the movie's plot either. I want you to enjoy this film for what it's worth and be entertained by it. That's the sole purpose for a Movie a Day Challenge. Now, in case you've previously seen the 2002 horror film 28 Days Later, then please feel free to substitute 28 Days Later for another film for your viewing pleasure. It doesn't even have to be in the genre of horror movies. This way you can take part in a Movie a Day Challenge and possibly watch each film along with me as I go along. In saying this, I'm going to go ahead right now and watch the 2002 horror film 28 Days Later, and then I'm going to come back and tell you a little bit about the film. I'll be right back. I just finished the 2002 horror film 28 Days Later, and I want to let you, the viewer, know that 28 Days Later is a good movie. Why is it a good movie? Well, this film actually had the potential of being a great film, but I just felt there were two major factors that brought that film's rating down to just a good movie. I'll get to those factors in a short few minutes. Now, let's talk about the story itself. You see, the story itself is very entertaining. And that's the sole purpose for a Movie a Day Challenge, to enjoy each film and be entertained by it. It's very unique, it's very interesting, and to watch it unfold before your eyes, it does the job. It really does. Now, the production for the film is impressive. There are scenes in this movie that make you wonder, wow, it must have cost them a lot of money to do that. And it was worth it, because you really felt that stuff that was going on in this movie was happening. And the production for this, it made you understand that, yes, this stuff was happening, and it's not some cheesy type of B film. This was going on, and you're witnessing this person's first-hand situation of what's going on in their life. Now, the violence in this movie. the violence is very acceptable. Although there may be times that blood does splatter and people may kind of like be a little squeamish by it, the film does have acceptance towards its violence. And I'm glad about that, because when talking about films in this type of genre of horror, you don't want it to be too gory, yet alone you don't want it to be just poorly done with violence. I'm talking about, you don't want it to be that, like, it's not believable. This film makes you believe that it's actually happened, that these people are dying in this way, and it's acceptable to you, the viewer. So it does its job towards the violence part. I want to let you know there are some parts of this film in the movie that does deal with nudity. Sometimes it's male nudity. There was one scene with female nudity. I just want to let you, the viewer, know, as I've done in all my previous reviews, just for your information so you can understand it. And when you watch the film, in case you're watching with a younger member of the audience, at least you know ahead of time. Now, what were the two major factors that made me make this rating good instead of great? The first major factor is the runtime of the film. It's nearly 2 hours. This film could have been an hour and a half, tops. But then it added another 28 minutes that I didn't really feel was necessary. I just didn't feel it was necessary. It could have been done in an hour and a half. At most, maybe an hour and 40 minutes. It could have done its job, told a great story, but nearly 2 hours. I don't know why. The second major factor, the second one is the ending of the film itself. I do not agree with it. I don't know why it was written like this. I don't know why the person even wanted to put it in the film. It was uncalled for and should have been left out. I thought it was a cheesy way, and to be honest, a cheap way to get out of a good film. It's sort of like you trying to rush through a test or trying to get your homework done on time, so you just hand it in to the teacher, not like checking it at all, just handing it in so you beat the clock so you can just get done with the test or the homework for the weekend. It was poorly done, and I just didn't think that that was a great way to end the film. My thoughts, when you watch this film, you'll have your own opinions about it. This is just how I felt about the movie. Would I recommend 28 Days Later to a family member and friend? Yes, I would. I really think people would enjoy this film. I just don't know how they would react to it. Would I watch 28 Days Later? Again, yes, I would. I enjoyed it. As long as I'm entertained by a movie, although I don't agree with the endings to some of these films or the runtime of them, as long as I'm entertained by it, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I might sound a little bit hypocritical towards this stuff, and I might sound like a hypocrite towards my reviews. It's not supposed to come like just about my feelings. People just go with things, and they just let things happen. If I don't have to agree with something towards what I'm viewing, it's fine. I just have to go and make it my own in some way. And as long as I'm enjoying the ride, as long as I'm enjoying the acting that is being portrayed on screen, I'm good with that. I'm entertained. Time, I can't do anything about it. And the way movies end, I can't do anything about that either. As long as I'm entertained and I enjoy the film I'm watching, it's all good by me. Now, if you like today's episode, you see that thumbs up underneath this video? Click it. Give us a like for today's episode. As you're doing that, maybe you've seen the 2002 horror film 28 Days Later and liked it. Maybe you've seen it and you didn't like it. Maybe you're interested in watching the film. You've seen my review and hearing a little bit about the movie that I just watched, and you're going to go watch the film and then come back and write something about the movie. Well, whichever the three may be. Please tell me in the comment box down below. Right down there. And as you're doing that, you see that word subscribe underneath this video? Click it. Subscribe to A Movie A Day Challenge. Now, tomorrow is day number 297 of A Movie A Day Challenge. And I'll be watching the 1987 horror film, Video Violence. My name is Frankie. I will be here tomorrow for day number 297. And the 1987 horror film, Video Violence. I will see you tomorrow.